This is the Lemieux Report for the week of June 22nd. Topic 1. Florida Growth Fund. The state hopes to spur growth in the economy by investing $250 million of the state's pension fund as part of a new Florida venture capital initiative. The Florida Growth Fund focuses on investments in technology and growth-related businesses with a significant presence in the Sunshine State. Cool things are happening here. Companies are building dog-sized robots, unmanned helicopters, and pilotless airplanes with flexible wings. Capital will be deployed to a select number of partnerships with a target commitment size of approximately $10 to $20 million per venture. Bottom line, investing in Florida technology companies makes good sense. Florida must grow its knowledge-based economy to compete nationally and internationally. The seed money from the SBA will help stimulate the new sector and bring high-paying jobs to the Sunshine State. Topic 2. Several South Florida cities struggling. The independent nonprofit Brookings Institution study of the top 100 metro areas, evaluating how each is weathering the recession, was published last week. Several Florida cities fell near the bottom of the list. Miami-Fort Lauderdale came in at 85. Palm Bay ranked 84, Cape Coral ranked 86, and Jacksonville was 97 on the list, followed by Tampa at 98 and Bradenton at 99. The quarterly study reviews a variety of factors including employment, housing prices, foreclosure rates, and wages. For the first quarter of 2009, San Antonio came in first, while Detroit came in dead last. Bottom line, the Brookings study presents an interesting look at a cross-section of factors affecting the nation's metropolitan areas. Unfortunately, it appears that when compared to cities nationwide, many Florida cities are badly lagging the national average and have yet to begin to rebound. Topic 3. Trade and seaport security. Last week, Governor Chris signed legislation to increase worker access to ports while increasing security standards. The new law eliminates government red tape, bringing Florida law more in line with federal regulations. Workers, who previously had to pass numerous background checks and carry multiple identification devices, will now have a uniform process for gaining access to Florida's ports. The legislation comes at a critical time for Florida's trade industry. South Florida is competing with other ports such as Jamaica and Panama for international trade. South Florida saw an almost 13% drop in international trade at the beginning of this year, but that is far less than the 31.5% drop seen nationally. Bottom line, no industry is immune from the economic recession, but trade will continue to play an important role in our global economy. The new seaport security legislation will make it easier to work with South Florida ports by removing the red tape and encouraging companies worldwide to continue to do business in Florida. Topic 4. Military and the economy. Last week, Governor Chris signed legislation creating the Florida Council on Military-Based Mission Support. The council is tasked with locating and supporting future growth opportunities for military assets in the Sunshine State, as well as guarding against closing of military installations. Currently, Florida is home to 20 military installations and 3 unified commands. Defense spending in Florida is $27 billion a year, accounting for 7.5% of Florida's gross state product and 732,000 direct and indirect jobs. While other sectors of business in Florida rise and fall with the national economy, Florida experiences nearly continuous growth in the defense industry, up more than 9% each year since 2003. The industry is expected to reach $59.5 billion by 2010. Bottom line, the important role of the military in Florida's economy cannot be stressed more. The closure of a military base can have a devastating impact on a local community. The Florida Council on Military-Based Mission Support will ensure that Florida is able to maintain and build upon the significant impact the military provides to the Sunshine State. Topic 5. High-speed rail. While the Central Florida Sunrail was again derailed by the Florida Senate in the final hours of the 2009 legislative session, hope for a high-speed commuter rail between Florida metro centers is not lost. Florida will apply for federal stimulus dollars. The first round of funding would be used to upgrade and increase production speeds of existing lines, quickly creating construction jobs. Next, planners would focus on mapping out high-speed rail corridors to be built after the original phases of the project are completed. Cities must compete to be selected for the plan. Bottom line, imagine being able to travel to and from the major city and university centers in Florida in an hour or two without having to suffer through long road trips or the vagaries, hassles, and costs of airline travel. A high-speed rail corridor would benefit the entire state and provide relief to travelers who are tired of standing in long airport lines or getting stranded someplace in Florida.